Sometimes when I'm around my brother-in-law, I wish I was dead. And I wish I was completely dead on that level. Because all it is a lot of bad and poor influence and everything else, and that would probably solve most of the issues and everything else. But that's pretty much how that would probably be played out, especially when it is posted on this YouTube and on this information guide about myself and the logs that I'm making, because usually it's a whole lot easier for me to consider that, but I would rather have a rich conceited partner with lots of money and everything else. But maybe the other way would probably be far sight easier and stuff like that. But on the other hand, it is one of those many things that is one of the bitter stuff that goes on in life itself. You get a meddlesome person that cannot stay out of other people's lives no matter what the outcome is. But as it is considered, the best place would probably be not alive or not available or whatever is considered on that factor. But we take into account why or how come we would be trying to figure this out. But it is some of those things that probably that's what makes life stink in the first place. But if it came out either way, hopefully someone gets a hold of this log entry and does something with it. And hopefully they do, because it will probably come up either way, shape, or form, and maybe some agency or some person or some being or some situation will probably get a hold of it in a fast enough and quick enough hurry to enact on these. But but this is one of my own logs about what had happened this evening. I've decided to post this log and download this log on the YouTube messages and on my message center of that factor and of this sort of situation that has been brewing throughout this house for quite a while, and that has been going on in my personal life and making my personal life a living hell is what it's been making it. And that's pretty much how some of the people have tried to build on that factor. But if it was for me to do all over again, I don't think I would be actually living here at all. I'd probably be back at Chelsea Gardens, living in that apartment and living on that upstairs floor in that apartment someplace, and just living off the fringes of the Social Security Department, or probably working at Safeway or something. But it would probably be far sight easier all the way through. And that's probably pretty much being the prime factor of it. But under this log, I would probably give anything to live on my own and to be without the issues that have been going on and that have been creating problems throughout my personal life and every other thing. Because usually people who do have personal problems themselves, or they are trying to protect something, or vice versa. Because my mom was that way for a long time, and quite a few other people have tried to take over on that level and considered the considering the real ramifications of my disabilities and the real ramifications of what could happen, or whether it is considered the idea of me being out on my own. It could be that I could be with a partner that could probably have AIDS or probably other things that are considered the real danger or the real issue here. But it could be either or it could be me inviting the wrong set of crowd into the apartment, or me putting the entire situation on that factor. Who knows what it could be that's spelled out here on this log entry. It could be why or how come, but it would be whether I'm here to help or whether I'm here to consider the fact that I would be under some sort of protection or some sort of directive per se. But I don't know whether that purpose is defined or whether that purpose is considered within these many understandings and factors of this vectored in. We don't know. We can be, I could be given a reason or an understanding, but it goes all the way back to what really took place at an address quite a few years ago, about 10 years ago. I invited a fella was about to invite a fella into a house at one time. I was about to invite a fella that was considered either dangerous or vice versa into a previous house that my sister and my brother-in-law had lived at. So this misjudgment was considered based on two things, and based on that, and I've had that real understanding of why or how come, and it was probably the mistrust and the misdirective that was going on, that was promised to my mom when she was alive. But this dates back to who is trusting whom and what it is, and me, whether I would invite the first young gay male into a house, or invite the entire partner into an apartment someplace on the face of the earth that would be considered either a danger to me or either a situation. But I think this goes farther beyond than that type of protection, and that considered a protection there. And this is a big question and a big answer on this file folder this evening. And that's and it's being stated right in public and everything else right now. What was considered, whether it was considered protection or whether it was considered morally protective of me or morally protective of somebody else. But the point is that protection itself does not apply in my personal life, and it seems like it doesn't, to all the entire degree of that factor at all. And that's the considered opinion on all levels, that sometimes people just look for the entire reason or prospect. And being that I'm going to be 42 years old, that is the poor excuse of them all, considering that understanding of this. We don't know. We can be objective, or we could be this or that, but there is nothing said or done. The problem is that being 41 or 42 years old, that kind of poses another irony. And being born with a disability, that even puts it even further into that page too. But even to consider the emotional distress that's been going on and the emotional issues that have been going on, I don't know. I don't know who or what or whatever other disabled person that is a gay male